Great to see you. It's always we don't see you a lot, but when we see you at various events, we love talking to you. Primarily because we often go so far off the beaten path. We're talking off the air about books, and sometimes we have to be reminded what we're doing here. I know you don't, because it's a pretty difficult job.
It is, and we always love having you here, Paul, and the SEC crew. We just couldn't be more happy. That means we're winning a little bit, and that's a good thing.
That is true, and we have Coach Johnson on later, and so many things here are winning. I mean, I know we obsess over football, and for good reason, but this place is happening.
Yeah, we're real pleased, Paul, and it's just who we are and what we deserve, our fans deserve, and finally, it's all coming together, and we feel like these for us are good times, and we're really pleased with it.
As someone who has been in high positions of leadership on the West Coast, in Texas, here you were here prior many years ago. I'm just really curious about this moment in time. It seems like I've asked this question a lot, but there's so many moments in time in intercollegiate athletics. How would you describe it right now?
It's chaotic, but it's no different than any other times. Paul, you and I talk about books and history and everything. I'm reading a book right now about the chaotic times between the 19th and 20th century, and it was nuts then, jumping from agricultural to industrial revolutions and crazy times of autocracy then, and a lot of chaos, countries changing, monarchies changing, and it's very similar, but this AI thing is for real, and I think it's really going to change a lot of what's happening, especially in our culture in the immediate future.
And I'd like to dig into that, not to turn this college football weekend over, but in terms of being prepared for that and how you deal with it, what is the approach?
It's the same approach, Paul. You just have to hire people smarter and better than you, and younger usually, because they have that experience and they understand what it's about. And we're doing it in our football operations. We're doing it obviously with our media folks and everything, and what and how we do it and how we approach it. And the future's bright because we accept it in our department, and we make it a priority to be on top of technology.
I'm curious on the other side of this. I ran into somebody the other day. He was talking about NIL, and as if it was commonplace, and we're all now indoctrinated, and we are. Yeah. But I mean, there was a time when I don't think you could have imagined, and quite frankly, did you ever imagine that we would have a day where we talk about things like that as just commonplace?
No, you don't, and people that think that they can read a crystal ball are nuts, and they're not. You just have to be prepared for change, no matter what it is and no matter how it can be. And when you do that, you can get ready for it and be prepared as best you can. But you can't read the future.
And in terms of this moment where it is now part of the culture, it's in the water. It's not really surprising anyone. How is it? How have you seen the reaction from the field, from the locker room? Because it seems pretty normal, especially if you're doing okay. Maybe if you're not, there are signs of it. But what's your interpretation of from inward out?
Yeah, it's a fabulous question, because at the end of the day, we're human beings, and your human nature, and you're a team, and what you have to do and what you're doing is very important to that task. And this effort is very important. But, at the end of the day, you have to embrace what we're doing with technology and with the future and with distractions and everything that we know. That is how we succeed. And the most important way to do it is embrace it and keep that human spirit and that human nature with you.
I want to get something that I know we've talked about in the past, and certainly everything is going great here with Brian Kelly, but there's so much conversation, at least in my world, about athletic directors and football coaching contracts. You've dealt with it.
Yeah.
You've been part of it. You've been, and I know that it's easy to sit here as a caller, as a fan at the end of the bar and say, what are these guys doing, and why are they giving what would only be interpreted as one-way contracts? But you're on the other side. Can you enlighten us at all? What is what is happening in that moment? Because things are happening at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's the best way to do it, and I always like to use metaphors or we can call them cliches, is it's like getting a leading man or a leading lady for a role in Hollywood. You don't have a lot of negotiation going on. You're going to pay their price and you're going to get them. And there's 8 teams that can compete with who we compete to get the very best in coaches. And the talent agents and the coaches know that, and they're very hard, demanding jobs, and you pay a premium, and you usually get one-way jobs, because anyone can go hire a lower-tier coach or a lower-tier coordinator for a little money, but are you going to have success? I mean, it's all market-driven, and that's what we play to.
And the second part of it is, because we only hear about what the coach gets if it doesn't work out. But on the other side, you're in real time. Recruiting is a pressing issue. Most of the time, you're not really in a great spot. You're having to react.
Yeah.
You're dealing with the media, as you did. You're dealing with other schools. So are you just simply betting, like, I think we have the right person, and the only way to get him is to offer this?
It is in a lot of ways, and then you have to see what the rate of return is, and you've seen it at a lot of schools, and the most obvious one was the GOAT, Nick Saban, and what he did for the University of Alabama and the whole state. You can't put a number on it. It was priceless what he did in changing that place, and everyone's hoping to have that kind of influence, or just a little bit less, and they do, and these programs obviously do, and our admissions are going up, and their rates are going up, and the number of people applying are going up, and it all is a reflection on how good our football team is.
But whatever they're being paid tomorrow night, I mean, the audience will be massive. I mean, we've seen 10, 12 million people watching the opening weekend or two. And I know it's a cliche, like that you have people that crunch these numbers, but when LSU was on ABC for nearly 4 hours, so you can't find the ticket. What does that mean to a university?
It's humongous. Paul, I tried to do it when I was at University of Washington, and we figured out that game day was a $16 million infomercial, and that was probably 12 years ago at the University of Washington when we were in Seattle. That alone gave that kind of exposure just for that day, and not counting out all the talk before and all the build up before and what you do for those things. It's just priceless to the image and for the PR of the university. I'm
a little bit hurt because I ran into a guy earlier, and I think it's the one that we're talking about here. This guy who, about my age and probably even a little younger, told me that he was the tuba player. So there he is. I ran into him and honestly didn't know what he was talking about. And now, I mean, this just goes to show you that even the geezers can take part at LSU.
Absolutely, and it's never leaves your blood, and it's in you, and it's a great story, and that's who we are. It's I hate to use Greg Sankey's great slogan, but it just means more. It does.
He's got the right name for the LSU band. Scott Woodward, I always say that. I always hate when these segments are in. One day we're just going to nail you down for a long, extended segment when we're not here and really mine your experience in your mind. Thank you so much.
It's always a pleasure, Paul, and thanks for being here.
Always one of our favorite places, Scott Woodward, and favorite people in the SEC.